Bookstores are places of discovery. Everybody knows that. You go to a bookstore to find a new book by a favorite poet, or maybe the newest novel of one of your favorite writers, or an art book, or a new book that's been illustrated recently. All of those things happen. At an old bookstore, discovery is even more of an important thing. And there are all kinds of things. You might discover a book that you had as a child. You might discover a Civil War book that has some factoid that fits very well with the rest of your collection, that sort of thing. But in any case, looking at the books as you find them and doing a little bit of background research always enhances the book as well. I did a little discovery of my own recently. I found an old speech by the Honorable Charles Sumner, who was a senator around the time of the Civil War and just before. In fact, he's the senator that the other senator from South Carolina beat over the head and nearly killed. Sumner was a strong abolitionist. After the war, he was an advocate of Seward's Folly. And this book is actually the recording of a 3-hour speech that he gave on the floor of the Senate, talking about Russian America and why we should get it, why we should go ahead with the purchase. And most of it is just facts and factoids, one right after another, until you get to the very end, where he talks about the fact that, well, we have this place, or we're about to get this place, what should we call it? And he says, well, the indigenous people out on the Aleutians have a name for it, the big land, that is to say, Alaska. So here in this speech, he proposes for the first time that we use the name Alaska for that part of the world. Here's another little bit of discovery that came into the store recently. This translates as picturesque Cuba, basically. It was a book or a series of engravings that were done by a man named Federico Meolli. Meolli was actually a Frenchman who moved and lived in Cuba in the middle part of the 19th century and did some wonderfully folkish sort of views of Cuba, the surroundings of Havana, and that sort of thing. There were not a lot of copies done, and after doing some research here, we found that we had a color illustrated copy of the book, and that perhaps it's unique. That is to say, this is the copy that Federico Meolli colored, hand-colored, and is a unique copy. That obviously makes a difference as far as value goes. And it's that sort of discovery that you can make in these bookstores, old bookstores, and it's that sort of discovery that all of us need to look for when we go into a bookstore. And I hope each of you make great discoveries each and every day.